Famous books that were almost never published, part 2. Side note, I don't know about you, but I've always been fascinated with this idea of the lone artistic genius, like Beethoven, Michelangelo, Frida Kahlo, Adele, the kind of person that seemed destined for success no matter what. But as I've gotten older, I've come to realize that this is not only a detrimental, but an unrealistic view of artistry in the world, and that raw artistic talent rarely equates to commercial success. And then if you sit at home alone thinking, I'm just going to work on my masterpiece, and one day someone will turn over the rock that I'm living under and discover me, that is a good recipe for living and dying in obscurity. And that yes, it is incredibly important to hone your craft, but it is also just as important to take your work, put it out in the world, and sometimes ask for help, even though that can be incredibly difficult. Anyway, back to this. This is Harper Lee, and if you grew up in the American school system, you were probably familiar with the book that she wrote, To Kill a Mockingbird. Very briefly, this book is about a young girl named Scout whose father, Atticus Finch, a lawyer, is called to defend a man named Tom Robinson. Tom Robinson is a black man accused of raping a white woman. Now, this book also takes place in the South in the 1930s, so it goes about as well as you might expect. This is one of the most moving pieces of literature that any child is ever required to read. But the thing is, this book would not exist if it were not for this woman, Theresa von Hohoff, or as she was known professionally, Tay Hohoff. She was Harper Lee's editor. And now normally editors just toil in obscurity in the background. Like, we don't know how much of a role they play in the crafting of a novel, but To Kill a Mockingbird is actually a special case. And the reason why it's special is because in 2015, this book was published. Go Set a Watchman. When this book was published, there was so much controversy around it, which I won't get into, but it's actually quite sad. But it was originally billed as a sequel of To Kill a Mockingbird. And anyone who's read it knows it is absolutely not. Scout returns home when she's 26 to the South. Atticus Finch, who is a pillar of morality and just a symbol for the fight of justice and equality, is mysteriously racist in this book. But anyway, it eventually comes out that Go Set a Watchman is an early draft of To Kill a Mockingbird. This is what Harper Lee sent to Tay Hohoff in the 1950s when she was first trying to sell her book. Now, what makes this particularly interesting is this really shows us just how much editing must have gone into this book to transform Go Set a Watchman into Kill a Mockingbird. Now, the reason why I like this so much is because it doesn't undermine Lee's achievement at all. She still wrote one of the greatest pieces of American literature ever and went on to win the Pulitzer Prize, rightfully so. But it also shows that great art does not emerge from a vacuum fully formed, that there is a context and a community, and that more often than not, you need help along the way, that there are people out there like Tay Hohoff who are conduits and facilitators, and they don't get recognized, but they are vital. And we know that because without her, this could never have been this. And I think that's amazing.